Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Wrath of the Righteous with me, Reconnecting. Let's do more housekeeping. Hi, a Blessing of Bastet, which is also diplomacy, just like all of the relics are. Demons assuming the form of cats and infiltrating Dresden are an affront to the Assyrian goddess Bastet. Our priests are ready to set out for the World Wound to watch over the sacred animals of their goddess, and expose those who dare steal their appearance. Energy points income increases by 5. Oh great, here comes another army. Alright, Outpost of Bastion expansion. We've seen that before. Not going to read it again. Intolerance. The hatred of the descendants of Sarkoris toward arcane spellcasters knows no bounds. The representatives of several tribes demand that mages not be allowed to serve in their units. Yeah, I think option 3 is probably most in character. This is definitely a Woljif decision. I guess it could be Greybore. But make the former Sarkorians fall in line. Adds 1500 leadership experience points. Upon receiving harsh punishment, the Kellids begrudgingly complied. News of this has bolstered the commander's authority within the ranks. Alright, the rogues that have joined the Crusade have renounced the path of crime and become true Crusaders. 6 paladins and 8 marksmen. Heaven Warriors. Angels will answer the cleric's fervent prayers and descend to the land of mortals to stand against the demonic hordes. 5 Movanic Devas are recruited at the commander's headquarters. I'm not actually sure how that's pronounced. If it's Movanic, Movonic. But sure, we'll do that too. Oh, I'd moved the units to the wrong side, so I lost my paladin's name. Alright, Angelic Host has descended to Galarian to join mortal kind in their struggle. What's so awful about these super units is you get so few of them, and they also come so late that you don't really need them. Like, by this point, I've got 662 champions, you know, I have hundreds of units versus the 5 Devas that I get. And it's not really a worthwhile trade-off, it's more of a roleplay option. Alright, the Priests of Bastet have arrived in Dresden. We keep recruiting them if we want. Those are actual stats. I guess we have nothing else going on for leadership. Logistics is also lagging very behind. Diplomacy and military are both maxed out, which is easy to do. I'm not sure how to get more leadership. I think you just have to take more of the leadership experience rewards during decrees. Or I guess events, not decrees. Logistics, you just have to build more buildings, which we can do. Alright, let's enchant the Attractive Impulse. Let's go, Craftsman can do some work on the relic. Great. Okay, so I think this itself will give us experience for the logistics. And then once we build more buildings and the new bastion, we get more experience as well. And since we have nothing else going on, we'll get more Devas. A heavenly audience. An angel is awaiting an audience in Dresden, hoping to share the wisdom of heaven with the leader of the Crusaders. Before I do that... yeah, why not? The hand of the Inheritor's voice is full of sorrow. Champion, I've come to speak of important matters. This war has claimed the lives of countless mortals. Each of us warriors of heaven regrets that we cannot part the skies, descend to Galarian as a shining host, and deliver you from evil. The natural order demands that the forces of heaven do not intervene. Only a few, such as myself, can engage in this battle. But even these few can do much good. We may not be a shining host, but even a handful of angels is a force to be reckoned with. So, tell us how we may help. Shall we arm ourselves with swords and fight beside your warriors? Shall we bestow power upon your priests? We shall gladly do everything we can, so long as it does not upset the world order. Why doesn't the heavenly host in all its splendor descend to Galarian? Such are the laws of the universe. We may fight evil elsewhere, but we must not invade the material plane. The same is true for all other powers. If we violate this prohibition, other forces will follow, leading to a war 1,000 times more terrible than this one. The Abyss, Abaddon, Axis, Heaven, and all other planes would invade the material plane, so they will not fall behind their rivals in claiming mortal souls. That war would shatter reality itself. What exactly do you suggest? We can answer the calls of your wizards and priests. If your servants use magic to summon us, we'll come and fight for you. If they ask us for power, we'll gladly share it and teach them arcane arts that will protect and strengthen your army. So summon Heavenly Host Ritual, summons 2+ Mythic rank Movanic Daemons to the target army. Or may the angels bestow power upon our priests. We'll get Storm of Justice and Bolt of Justice. Only for target unit. Honestly think that's better. So yeah. May the angels bestow power upon our priests. It shall be done. May our gift bring strength to your warriors, deliver them from danger, and grant you victory in this war. I mean, we have Setsuna Shy. I'm not too worried about losing the war. But I appreciate the help nonetheless. The Touched One. So it's possible I may see some events I haven't seen before by just killing time like this. An odd and somewhat touched priest has sought an audience. In a dream, he saw himself eradicate the world wound, and he's convinced that it was an omen. With the help of the relics he borrowed from his temple, he's able to make the arduous journey to Dresden, and now he is asking the commander to keep them safe while he's away on his quest to fight evil. Alright, so we can let him go to his death. We'll get the relics of the Blessed One. We may have seen this playthrough, or it could have been one of my other playthroughs. It's hard to keep them all straight. We can get more finance points, or reduction of losses. I think I'm going to go with this one. It's also the most roleplay appropriate. I convinced the priest to join the army. Brucelar was able to convince the priest that he had interpreted the dream wrong. His mission was indeed to travel to the world wound and fight it, but he read the metaphor of closing the wound too literally. His true purpose is not to bear this burden solely on his own shoulders, but to join the crusade and do his part in achieving victory over the demons by, for example, serving as a healer. Royal conscription. Sure. Alright, can upgrade one of our outposts to a bastion. And this one will do. Alright, teleportation circle was the most important. Let's see, we have archery, stables, barracks, laboratory. We'll do a hospital. I think the shrine. I do want a Hall of Glory. And a supply center, I guess. I sent a whole bunch of armies at the same time. Unfortunately for them, Setsuna Shai is quick on his feet. Alright, enchanting the attractive impulse. Priestesses of Shaylin and Calistria have arrived in Dresden to perform a ritual over the gemstone known as the Attractive Impulse. An argument broke out between them over who should have the right to complete their mission and who would get nothing. We can consecrate the Attractive Impulse to Shaylin or Calistria. So Shaylin will give us the Passion Sweet Poison. Whenever the wearer of these gloves confirms a critical hit with any bow, the enemy starts losing their mind, thus suffering 1 damage to Intelligence, Wisdom, or Charisma. And to Calistria, whenever the wearer of these gloves lands a melee touch attack, the enemy must pass a will saving throw DC 20, or his heart and mind is consumed with agonizing lust. Any critical hit against affected enemy drives them even crazier, paralyzing for 1 round. Now let's grab Devouring Lust. The priestesses of Vengeful Calistria were happy to conduct a ritual over the gemstone to crown the vengeance of their deity. Alright, enchanting the Wicked Dope. The arrival of a mysterious visitor. A lady who has come to Dresden on business has requested a private audience. She claims to have connections with one of the commander's retinue. This is Land's mother. Spoiler alert, I guess. But it is possible to miss this event. But if you want his best ending, you have to speak to her. An old half-elf woman bows to you. She is stately despite her years, with grey strands in her carefully combed hair and a graceful figure. Rhea Neath, representative of the Firidazzle and Company Trading House and Erosian at your service. The woman hands you a business card printed on expensive paper with gold lettering. I have a formal offer for the merchants of Dresden regarding the procurement of construction materials. And a more personal matter which I'm afraid only you can help me with. And do you want to trade here? Yes, for a while. I have product samples of what our trading house has to offer. If you need something, you easily find me in the fortress. But to be honest, I can discuss supplies with your subordinates. What kind of personal matter? Rhea looks around. I would prefer not to talk about it here. Please, find me in the fortress, then we'll talk. Also, her last name being Neath, like the Neathers, is a little on the nose. Alright, I'll find you when I have the time. Rhea bows again. Thank you. Yeah, let's go and knock that out. We'll break this up a little bit. Back to the streets. Alright, Rhea Neath's business card. Rhea Neath, sales representative, Firidazzle and Company Trading House, Coronation Avenue, Nerosian. This might be... I didn't level them up, did I? Whoopsies. This is better, because the other one's for ranged touch attacks, which he's not utilizing. This is probably good for her, if she ever goes that route. Let's knock out these mythic ranks real quick as well. So old Grey Boar. 2-weapon fighting mythic. With weapons in both hands, your death strikes make you twice as deadly. Benefit: your penalties on attack rolls for fighting with 2 weapons are reduced by 2. Arushalai. Deadly Aim Mythic. It's like power attack, but for bows. Let me read that again. Regil. Probably weapon focus mythic, Gnome Hooked Hammer. I've already read the weapon focus mythic. Nothing here I really care for. I can do is summons. Might be under the mythic ability. I already got Ascendant summons. Never mind. In that case... Conjuration, why not? So, School Mastery. I'll select one school of magic. All spells you cast that belong to this school have their cast level increased by 1. It's a Conjuration, I guess. Necromancy wouldn't be bad either. Anio. A School Mastery, Illusion. And Ember. Probably also School Mastery for Enchantment. Yeah, Spellcasters are easy to level up. It's the martial characters that have, I think, a lot of really good options, because you can get, you know, better iterative attacks, you can get bigger attacks, better attacks. Swing a hammer better, swing a hammer harder. Oh, she's not over here, is she? Rhea standing, arms folded, pensively observing the activity around her. Noticing you, she greets you with a nod. Remind me, who are you? Rhea Neath, sales representative of the Ferradazzle and Company trading house in Nerosian. I have a few offers for your quartermaster, but making business connections is not my main reason for being here. Show me your wares. Ferradazzle and Company trading house provides only the very best. Well, I've seen better, so... that's a lie. What is this personal matter you wanted to discuss with me? Rhea sighs loudly. She obviously has trouble saying this. Her cold, businesslike manner melts away. I've said this in my head so many times. Now that I actually have to say it, I can't put two words together. I want to talk to my son very much, but he is avoiding me. I know you are friends, or at least he listens to you. If only you could convince him to at least approach me. Just a minute. What's your son's name? I know no one by the name of Neath. Oh, of course, forgive me. Neath is not a real family name exactly. My husband didn't have any at all, and neither did I. We took the name of the village he lived in. That's right. Hence why it's on the nose. My son's name is Lan. He knows I'm here and is hiding from me. I can't blame him, but I might never have another chance to make amends and tell him I love him. Why doesn't Lan want to see you? Rhea turns around. Isn't it obvious? I gave up and abandoned him. The day his father and I decided to go our separate ways, that was that. He must resent me, or hate me. Maybe he's ashamed of me, or maybe he's wiser than me. Some children shouldn't meet their mothers. There's no point in reopening old wounds. But I still want to see him, so much. A half-elf married a mongrel. How did that happen? Rhea smiles sadly. When it comes to love, does it matter who you are? Back when I was young, I was a smuggler. One day, my friends and I were attacked by our rivals. They were in such a hurry to get their plunder, they didn't even finish us off. They just threw us into a well. I ended up in the mongrel tunnels. Ken was young and curious. Luckily, our boots interested him less than we did. He brought me back to life. I screamed and stabbed him. That's probably a sign that our marriage wouldn't be a happy one. And still, we loved each other. He took care of me and was always ready to make me laugh. He was optimistic, but not the most driven man. I, on the contrary, was too driven. I dragged him to the surface. I believed back then I could move mountains if I just wanted it hard enough, but it didn't work out. Why did you abandon your son? Because Rhea fights back tears, as if the tragedy is still too raw for her. I broke, gave up, convinced myself that it was our decision, not my decision, that it would be better for everyone. I'm not sure if Lan told you, but I had other children besides him. They were different. All of them were special, and all were missing something. It just couldn't survive. The last one was born in pieces, and I realized he would be the last one. I just knew it. I didn't need any healers to tell me that. After that, it's like I sank into a black hole. I saw Ken grieve. I saw Lan struggle to find a place for himself. The neighbors felt no pity for us when they heard about our struggles. They accused us of worshipping demons, Lamashtu, anyone. And I realized I was to blame for it, all of it. For making Ken go up to the surface. For deciding to have children with him no matter what. For appearing in Ken's life, having Lan. And for what? So he could suffer? Ken and I discussed it. He said he would take our son and go to his tribe. Both thought we were relieving each other of a terrible burden. That at least we would be making Lan happy. Because he would grow up among his own kind. I still ask myself if we did the right thing. If Lan doesn't want to see me, there's nothing right about it. What kind of mother could abandon her own child? Rhea looks you in the eye. Yes, I agree. Alright, I will find your son. Rhea nods, trying to maintain her composure, but tears are glistening in her eyes. Thank you. This means so much to me. I have to go. Thank you for your time, Commander.
I'm off.
Alright, Lan, time to make amends and bury the hatchet.
Take care of it.
So that he... Well, I don't want to spoil... Well, I guess... Yeah, I'm not going to spoil it. He kind of has to do this. What brings you here? Your mom came to see you, Lan. Why don't you want to talk to her? Ah, she got to you too. He clears his throat. It's not that I don't want to see her. I'm just busy. Lan waves his hand vaguely. With, you know, this and that, Crusader matters. Sometimes I feel like a mother of a large brood. And besides, she didn't come here for me. She's here on business. I don't want to distract her. By the way, have you seen her card? I got one from a merchant. Lan produces a business card from his pocket. Reaneath, Faradazzle & Company Trading House Nerosian. And Boston Gold and everything. People with gold lettering on their business cards probably don't have time for idle chit-chat. I'll bet you need to book an appointment a week in advance. Even if I do, what would we talk about? You think I'm angry at her? I'm not. I never was. She and my dad had it rough. They didn't make it, and that's nobody's fault. But so much time has passed. She and I are strangers now. If you happen to see her, tell her I've got a lot on my plate right now. Maybe some other time. I know she lives in Nerosian now. Maybe I'll send her a present on her birthday. Back and forth, back and forth.
It's time to act!
I'm sorry. The land doesn't want to see you. Rhea nods. He is stubborn. I'm not sure if he gets it from me or his father. Please try again. But no. Rhea retrieves a package from her bag and opens it to reveal a small striped arrow painted yellow and red with blue fletching. There. It's an arrow from his very first bow. I made them so bright so they could be easily seen in the grass. I showed him how to shoot. I taught him to train his vision, to account for the wind, to fix his string. Just take it to him as a souvenir, a keepsake. Tell him I've never forgotten him. I know Lan won't forgive me, but he should know that at least. Lan's arrow. A toy arrow with bright red and yellow stripes and blue fletching. And it looks pretty fancy to me. Not like a homemade arrow.
My skills are absolute.
Alright, back again. Sorry, there and back again. A hobbit's tale. What brings you here? Give the arrow. Your mom gave me this. She's never forgotten you. She is very sorry. Lan takes the arrow carefully and examines it. This is my toy, from when I was a kid. Suddenly he breaks the arrow with his clawed hand and flings it behind his back. Ah, it doesn't matter. Not anymore. She made her choice, and my dad let her. I don't want to blame her. I have no right to. Lan catches his breath and smiles at the human half of his mouth. Sorry. I must have woken up on the wrong side of the bed today. Sitting around Dresden for too long is bad for me. I start getting irritated by the smallest things. I'm always in the best mood when I'm killing demons in the wound. Don't tell her I threw away the arrow. And please tell her I don't want to see her. It'll be better for everyone that way. And back again. Here we go.
I'm always ready.
At least we're getting our steps in. He threw the arrow away. I'm sorry. Rhea grits her teeth, holding back tears, and tosses her head proudly. Alright, alright. It was just a silly sentimental piece of wood that won't change anything. He is right. He did the right thing. Lan strides up to Rhea and stops, as if he's hit an invisible wall. Mom, you look well. Rhea clenches her fingers so tight, her knuckles go white. Lan, you're so tall. I see your entire tribe is here. How is Dad? Did he stay down below? He died. Oh, I see. Lan, I thought you didn't want to come. Lan sighs heavily. I still don't want to be here, but I would be a coward if I didn't come. It's alright, Mom. I'm not angry with you. I've just been very busy. Rhea looks away. You're lying. Am I not even worthy of your anger, Lan? You hate me that much. Is that all you have to say to each other? Why don't you finally reconcile? Because we never fought. I don't understand why this is such a big deal. Alright, we said hello. I've done my filial duty. Do you hate me, Lan? Mom, of course not. Lan frowns and shakes his head. I understand. For years I've blamed myself for you and Dad trying to live like a normal family and have more children. If I hadn't given you false hope by being born alive and almost human, grief wouldn't have broken you. If anyone is to blame, it's me. I don't have the right to be angry with you. And what does it matter if you have the right or not? Say what you really feel. Lan sighs, gathering his thoughts, and turns to you. I can't joke my way through this, can I? You want me to turn to my mother and say, Mom, it doesn't matter that my last brother was taken out of you piece by piece. It doesn't matter that you've been banished from everywhere because Dad and me. None of that matters. Because a selfish brat wanted to have a mom, and still does, even after growing up into a man. Is that what you want me to say? No. That would never happen. Never. Rhea smiles sadly. You've already said everything you need to, sweetie. You've never been a selfish brat. Headstrong and a little lazy, maybe, but never selfish. Forgive me. I love you so much, whether you believe it or not. I'm sorry that I wasn't strong enough to be the mother you deserve. Lan gives up. His face falls, like someone let all the air out of him. I forgive you. I love you too. What I said just now, I went too far. I was so lonely without you, and angry at you and Dad, and at myself most of all. I know, Lan. I'm so sorry. Rhea quickly wipes away her tears and smiles. You silly little cave potato. Don't you dare be angry at yourself. I've never regretted having you. Not a single day. You know, I'm leaving soon. When the war is over, fly me to Rosian. We'll visit your brothers together. I made sure their graves are looked after. Well, do you agree? Lan gulps and nods without saying a word. I think I have the best son, if not in the entire world, and definitely in Dresden.
I'm gone.
I'd like you to stay longer. And what will they say about you in Legends? Lan who went to the Crusade with his mommy. Warriors of Dresden, when you get a load of this. My own mother is humiliating me. Of course you didn't hear me say legend. I think if we exit and re-enter this area, actually we probably do it right here. Now Lan might be back where he's supposed to be when we talk to him about this. Mostly so I don't forget.
I am never wrong.
Oh, more dialogue. Mom, did you know that grown men whose mothers call them little potatoes in the middle of Dresden don't tend to have much luck with the ladies? Alright, what brings you here? How do you feel about reconciling with your mom? Lan scratches his head pensively. It's weird. I think I feel happy about it. I also feel like the rug's been pulled out from under me. You know, I never even admitted to myself that I was angry at her. I didn't let myself even consider it. I took all my anger out on myself, on the demons. And still, it was like I was carrying around a huge boulder. And now that that weight is gone, I don't know how to live without it. She went back to Nerosian, but she gave me her address. It's strange to think I can write to her, tell her what's on my mind, ask for her advice. I was used to her not being around, to the idea that she was gone forever. Now I have to get used to her being in my life. Lan smiles. Thank you, Donald, for not letting me off the hook. I was mad. I'd have sooner run into the wound and hugged a demon than gone to meet her, or see her. But it turned out you were right. Thank you. I don't know what the situation is with your parents, but if you get the chance to hug your mom, do it. Did you come with me so you could see the surface again? Initially, I blamed the demons for everything my family had been through. I wanted to come up to the surface to seek revenge. But since meeting my mom and becoming chief of our tribe, so many things have changed for me. I'm on the surface to drive the demons out of Galarian. because there will only be more misery in this world as long as they're here. The past is in the past. I can't change what happened to my family and my people. We just have to live with the consequences. But we can still change the future. Sure thing. You still want revenge on the demons for your family's suffering, or has something changed? You know, I guess something has changed. I really wanted to make the demons pay for everything. For Mongrels being cast out, for my mom's tears, for my dad's early death, for the lumps in my porridge. But after I reconciled with Mom, I realized a lot of things. I realized that I just hate feeling helpless. That's it. Whenever I don't know what to do, I start thinking everything is my fault. I thought I hated the demons, but I actually just hated myself. Before this crusade, I never even met a demon. And then, when I saw what they turned Wendwag into, what they were doing on the surface, it's like everything suddenly became crystal clear. I realized the demons must be destroyed. Not because they spat in my ancestors' soup way back when, but just because they are evil that we must defeat if we want to live. I watched them die from my arrows, and I know I'm doing the right thing. Of course, it's a drop in the ocean, but as long as my hands obey me, as long as my eyes can see the target, I still have hope that I can do something important. There's still time for that. Yeah, so it's important that he has that hope. Otherwise, it's impossible to get a good ending for him.
They'll take care of it.
I think. I'm pretty sure everything that I've done is required for his good ending. Alright, I'm going to call it here, just in case there's an event that popped up in the Citadel. And next time we'll return to the Citadel and continue with the housekeeping, and try to finish off those relics and events that pop up before we go to the Ivory Sanctum. So probably one more episode of that before more action. But either way for now, thanks for watching. Hope to see you guys in the next one.